Well, the form's a bit patchy, despite what the 2 wins you saw in the last video, but let's see if we can get a couple of wins today to get us up back towards the top half of the table. Fingers crossed. So here we are, we're playing Perugia, who are perhaps one of the teams that we might try and be looking to chase, but it's starting to look difficult. We are 8 points behind them at the moment, so there's a bit of a gap opening up because we had a run of 3 games without a win. We did win against Foggia in the last game, with Luca Meloni scoring and then getting sent off, which was frustrating. But those defeats to Seregno and Crotone were a little frustrating, really. We didn't play very well in either game, and we do need to sort of put a little bit of a run together again just to cement that position in that middle of the table, hopefully getting to the top half of that table. Landolfini has come in and started to do really, really well in that centre of midfield, so I'm glad I've made that change. That was certainly the change that I think probably prompted the improvement in form recently. We have got a few players on the bench who we can now bring on and have an impact, whereas before I didn't really have a huge amount of faith in anyone to come off the bench and actually do anything interesting. Having said that, we have had a few games where I haven't made substitutions just because it hasn't occurred to me. That was a bit silly. But hopefully this game will not be one of them. Well, maybe we may not even need substitutions. Maybe we'll win this game easily. Who knows? So we walk out with Perugia, and here we are. Can we close that gap a little bit on them? 8 points at the moment. And it's been an extraordinarily dull half. There hasn't been a single highlight yet. Am I on? I'm on key highlights. That would be why. Should be on extended for the videos. I put it on key highlights between games, but for the videos I tend to put it onto extended. We might make it into a 3-game video. In fact, I think if we leave it on key and then make it into a 3-game video, then that kind of cancels it out, and we have just the highlights that are rather shorter, but we'll have 3 games. Let me know, actually, in the comments if you think that this is a better way to do it. I've generally been doing 2 games, but on extended highlights. If you'd prefer to see 3 games on key highlights, then that's absolutely fine. It's something I can do. I tend to find having that little bit extra detail perhaps is a little bit better for the videos. But if it's, more interesting to see the full games, that's absolutely fine. It's something I will change to. Ancona finds Perna. Can we get a winner here? Landolfini. Coccolo shoots, and it goes wide. That's what people might have made a save there, but apparently not. Draw wouldn't be a disaster here, but a win would be very nice in terms of keeping us in touch with Perugia amongst other teams who we could still catch. Certainly if we win today, then you would think that we are very much in the race to overtake them. Perizan makes a good save there. And it's a game where actually we've probably done well to get a point. We had a shot early on, but other than that, we had very, very little. It was a pretty poor performance, to be honest, and we will move on to the next one, sort of knowing that we slightly got away with that one, I think. And we'll be back for the Lucchese Libertas game very shortly. Right, and here we are on the 15th of February with the game against Lucchese Libertas. And as you can see, we're 5 points clear of them, so this is a team we should be beating. And we kind of need to keep up the pressure on that top 10 position. Though we are 5 points behind Spal, and they are certainly a team that we are chasing. So 10th is sort of a minimum that I would have been hoping for this season. As I say, with the financial restrictions we've been had, I don't think it would be a disaster if we were 11th or 12th. But I really do want to try and keep the pressure on, at least get close to that 10th position, which would be at least a marginal improvement. So, Lucchese Libertas now. Anyone I recognise here? I don't think so. No. So, on to the game. Let's try and make sure that we can get a win here. Bolzan will lead the line. Hoping to see some of the early season form that he showed. He's tailed off a little bit, but 10 goals is still good. But he's only scored 1 in the last 5. That's average rating 6.56, and I did drop him a couple of times. I've given Sommer and Kona a game each. But Bolzan probably is the best striker we have, so I wanted to keep him going and just sort of make sure that I could do the best I possibly could for him. Papetti picks up the ball, literally, and now he finds Viola. Can't find anyone in the centre. Landolfini to Diaby, passing it around nicely, but then we've given it away. Volta picks it back up though, and we've given it away again. So we are certainly pressing them, but at the moment just can't find that little bit of kind of accuracy to keep the ball long enough and then get the goal. And Caponigro has found the back of the net. Been a bit of a calamitous bit of defending, really. That was far from ideal. Can we strike back immediately? We can. Colucci gets the goal from the free kick, and it's 1-1. Good to see Gennaro Colucci getting on the score sheet. Kind of player who should be getting more goals than he does, really. He gets forward for set pieces quite a lot. And he's, 181. Okay, it's not as tall as I thought. He was a bit taller than that, but it's still fairly tall. And your centre-backs, particularly centre-backs who played as much as him, he's one of my longest-serving players, possibly the longest-serving player now, I'm not sure. He probably should be getting more goals. If you look through his history, 10 league goals, that was his 11th. Probably should have a few more than that, really. Oh, that was too simple, and Boccia luckily hits it against Perizan, makes a good save, but yeah, we're looking a little bit vulnerable at the moment. Just be a little bit more cautious, perhaps. Boccia finds Caponegro again, and Caponegro this time does not make a mistake, and we are 2-1 down, and this is not looking good. This is definitely a game that we need to be winning, and at the moment we are. I would say we've been absolutely battered in that first half. It could easily have been 3 or 4-0. We need to go for it a bit more now. The other slight concern is that we have 3 players yellow carded. We have had a few red cards recently as well. So that's something we need to be aware of. I think I will replace Diaby for Bassett. But we haven't yet had a second half highlight. We are 15 minutes from time now, and we are really not creating anything at all. And that's a worry. We're on Sommer for 10 minutes. Can we create something? Tomorrow more from the team. This is not looking very positive, is it? We're into injury time. Can we get an equaliser at least? Bassett finds Roller into Sommer, but he can't quite turn it goalwards. It's a good ball from Roller there. But not quite enough, and we are probably deservedly beaten there. Not a very good result. And yeah, there's work to be done here, because there's still a chance we could be pulled into a relegation battle, and certainly the chances of us finishing 10th or above at the moment, which was the target, looking like they are fairly slim. And this is, so far, it's been a pretty disappointing season. I will be back tomorrow, and hopefully we will see an improvement. But I need to try and make up those 9 points as quick as I can, really. Otherwise, it's going to look like a bit of a lost season. We'll be back, though, for the new youth intake, which will probably be in early April, something like this area here. So whoever the decent game around the time when the youth intake comes is, that's the game that I will do. It will be sort of late April, early March, something like late March, early April, something like that. And that's when we will be back. So thanks for watching. Slightly frustrating games today, and we've now got just 1 win in 6, and that's a bit of a worry after a decent spell of form before that. We're going to need to see if we can turn that around. I'm going to have to do that off camera and hopefully try and make sure that I can G the team up. We'll maybe look into a team meeting and things like that. See if we can turn things around as we go in through February and March, and then I will be back with the new set of youth intake, possibly with 1 or 2 really good players coming through. We are going to be relying on that with such a poor financial outlook at the moment, and hopefully we can have some good results in that next video. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.